Miel Martin. Miel Martin.
Weka tik. Aya, baba Jabidi.
Amen.
Huko nje wanakuita.
It's my big bronze boogie got all them girls shook. My big fat ass got all them boys cook. We're from dollar bills, now we poppin' rubber bands. Bruno sang to me while I do my money dance like, hey. Flexing on the gram like, hey. Hit the Lil Jon, okay. Oh yeah, we drippin' and finesse and getting paid.
Ooh, don't we look good together? There's a reason why they watch all night long. Yeah, I know we'll turn heads forever. So tonight I'm gonna show you off. When I walk with you, I watch the whole room change. Baby, that's what you do. No, my baby don't play. Blame it on my confidence, or blame it on your measurements. Shut the shit down on sight. That's right. Hey, I hit drippin' in finesse.
So as we enjoy music from DJ Wiwal, we look forward to the afternoon session. So 10 minutes, then we can resume.
Relax, Bwana atanibariki kwa kadri ya utajiri wake, kwa kipimo cha kujaa, kusukwa hata kumwagika. Atanipa mahitaji yangu kwa kadri ya utajiri wake, kwa kipimo cha kujaa, kusukwa hata kumwagika. Bwana atanibariki kwa kadri ya utajiri wake, kwa kipimo cha kujaa, kusukwa hata kumwagika. Atanipa mahitaji yangu kwa kadri ya utajiri wake, kwa kipimo cha kujaa, kusukwa hata kumwagika. Nani apinge alichosema Mungu? Nani alaani alichobariki Mungu? Hakuna awezaye kuzuia alichotenda Mungu. Na kama kuna pando lopandwa na movu, nang'oa pando la movu bila ang'oa. Andikwa kwa hila, nafuta andiko la hila. Na kama kuna pando lopandwa na movu, nang'oa pando la movu bila ang'oa. Andikwa kwa hila, nafuta andiko la hila. Imeandikwa nitakuwa kichwa si mkia, wa kwanza si wa mwisho. Bwana atanibariki kwa kadri ya utajiri wake, kwa kipimo cha kujaa, kusukwa hata kumwagika. Atanipa mahitaji yangu kwa kadri ya utajiri wake, kwa kipimo cha kujaa, kusukwa hata kumwagika. Bwana atanibariki kwa kadri ya utajiri wake, kwa kipimo cha kujaa, kusukwa hata kumwagika.
Jesus in the tune. Even his minion play the tune after tune. Cheza tune. Hakuna pressure kwa tune. Ukipata don't nilisikiza tune. Ebu imagine Yesu alitembea juu ya maji. Can you imagine? Akitembea kwako itakuwaje? Please imagine. Shida zako zote atamaliza. Wacha pressure na relax.
Kunande.
He'll do for you.
Kunande.
He'll do for you.
nitashinda adui akileta majaribu. Unitayarishe, unibadilishe, mtihani nipite, mwito nitimize. Nijue kuandika, niandike maono yangu. Nijue kuhesabu, nihesabu baraka zako. Nijue kuombea, nihubiri neno lako kwa watu wako. Baba nichukue, nifunze, nataka kusoma kwa shule yako, kwa shule yako. Nichukue, nifunze, nataka kusoma.
Ay, 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 ay. Nashukuru pale nimetoka. Ay, 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 ay. Kushukuru mimi sitachoka. Ay, 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 ay. Nashukuru pale nimetoka. Ay, 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 ay. Kushukuru mimi sitachoka. Kila mtu basi twende nao. Hakuna kuchoka, pia hakuna kuturn around. Huko tumetoka, kila mtu basi twende nao. Hakuna kuchoka, pia hakuna kuturn around. Huko tumetoka. Ay, ay, ay. Kweli mimi ni nani? Shukurani nisitarudisha, kwani we umekuwa nami. Mambo yangu umebadilisha, alile we come through. Nikikuita hujawahi kosa. Usipo come through, unanipa jinsi ya kungoja. Aya, aya, chini mimi sitarudi. Aya, aya, kushukuru mimi sina budi. Aya, aya, nashukuru pale nimetoka. Aya, aya, kushukuru mimi sitachoka. Aya, aya, nashukuru pale nimetoka. Aya, aya, kushukuru mimi sitachoka. Kila mtu basi
blessing, money, testimony. Go to follow, you will go.
This year, good news, giant plenty bonding. Go to follow, you can go.
Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life.
Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life.
Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa, you too shy, you don't fit for your hand. Even before you call, you don't answer prayer. My papa, you too shy, fit for your hand. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life. Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life. Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life.
4 more minutes. Let's settle as we prepare for our third module by Miss Angela.
Testimony. Go to follow, you they go.
This year, good news, giant plenty bonding. Go to follow, you can go.
To all the ladies in the dance, I lose all control when I see you standing there in front of me. Your style, your clothes, your hair, your hair, woman, you look so sexy. The way you whine and the way you dance and the way that you twist and turn your waist leaves me wanting, leaves me yearning, leaves me feeling for a taste. Before the end of
as we prepare to have Miss Angela on board. Thank you, DJ Wiwa.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to our DJ Bana. Yes. Yes. This is what we're talking about when we say inclusivity Bana. DJ Wiwa, that was a very wonderful set to Mejibama. Si imekuwa soundtrack poa tukikulama. It was nice, yeah?
Proper.
Yeah, we're now getting into the afternoon session. And we would like to give a chance to our supporters to come and say a little bit of something. So I'm gonna invite a representative from Adorn, Rebecca Online, to come here and tell us more about their products. I'll also invite a representative from Mekubal Afrika. Please make sure that you get yourself some jewelry. I see they have some nice house decor, some vikapu pale. You can get yourself something very, very affordable. Bei karibu na bure, so usiogope. Economy huku inatu favor. So I would like to invite someone from Mekubal Afrika as well. Rebecca Online Adorn, kindly. Let's have a representative to come and say something about your wonderful products.
We also want to inform you that the session with Angela and Ndambuki will be pushed to tomorrow so that we can just have a maximum impact to those who are here as creatives to understand about their intellectual rights and how they can go about it. There's also Sheloye Sacco, a saving and credit company also with us. Please prepare, you can tell us more. I need to confirm if I'm saying that right. Sheloyes. So please also be on standby. Just share with us on how creatives can get on board with their savings and credit circle, and how you are getting on board already. If you already have some of them involved, how does that look like?
Remember, our challenge is still on. We're hoping that you're collecting those numbers, hoping that you're connecting, because we will be awarding someone with a little something nice at the end of the day. So please make sure that you interact with someone, say hello to somebody, usikae umenyamaza. Make sure that you leave with more than enough contacts. I think we have everyone that we need to push the needle as far as the creative economy is concerned right here.
We moved the bar a little bit, so it's no longer 5. So it's the person with the highest number of contacts at the end of this session, yes?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I would like Adorn. I see ourselves getting ready. Rebecca online as well. They're going to tell us about their products. Makubal Afrika tafadhali. Let's have a representative from there as well. And I will also invite Ntamucha Head of Ops, so Operations Manager hapa leo, Msuya pia atatusalimia kidogo. And please don't forget to post the pictures. I know the food was looking good. If there's any people who've taken pictures of the food and everything, just show the world what is happening, that Creatives Connect East Africa, or Africa, is taking care of creatives, making sure that we're fueled the right way.
At some point, we will also be having the members from Equity and PayPal on board again, so that we can just delve more into how their operations are assisting the creatives, or even how, as a creative, you can get on board with them to ensure your sustainability while at it.
Sawa sawa, karibu sana, Adorn. Makofi tafadhali. Guys, hapana. Hapana, msijibe sana. Makofi tafadhali kwa Adorn. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Juliet Otieno. I came with the Rebecca team and Adorn. Rebecca online platform is a e-commerce platform that provides services and products online. So the main product that we currently have, a variety of products, especially the Adorn Africa. It's a new African product made in Kenya. So you can take a walk and just see the product by yourself, and let us know your review once you've used the product. Under Rebecca platform, it's a platform that connects customers, clients, and stylists. So if you are a beautician or a hairdresser and you need to be connected with clients, we provide that connection. So you can come to us and we go through the process, and now we can work together and be one of our stylists. Thank you very much.
Okay, this is not a paid ad, but I'm actually wearing their lip gloss, and I can testify that it's actually very good. Hopefully, sasa your next sasa ndo itakuwa paid ad, wanipatie lipstick or something. But for sure, the products are really, really nice, and the eyeshadow as well is very well pigmented. All right, let's welcome somebody from Makubal Afrika. Tafadhali, come and tell us about your beautiful products. Round of applause, people. Tuchangamke. Oh, Head of Ops pia, Msuya.
Hello, everyone. So my name is Caroline Msuya. For Creatives Connect Africa, the social media manager. So anything you see online on our page, mkiniona mnaweza nibaiya soda. Yeah, and I'm here to talk on behalf of Makubal. So Makubal is an African brand. We all know that Kenya has the best bidding. No debate on that. So if you want to experience that, please do visit our stand. And then if you want to visit our shop, you can find us at Westlands Market, shop number C73. And you can also find us on our socials at @mekubal_Africa. And karibuni nyinyi wote, we are happy to serve you. Thank you. And then I'll take this opportunity. I've been given this chance to introduce Judy Sheila to speak about, if you don't know Judy Sheila, I can just give you her profile. I've known her for so many years. She's also the director of content at Pulse East Africa, and she's going to take us through our Pulse Influencer Awards that you've done for 5 years. So karibu sana Judy.
Hi everyone, I'm a jack of all trades. So there's a time I was saying the kitu peke yake sikuwa napata Kenya ni mafuta ya ndege, and finally I have a supplier. So if you want mafuta ya ndege, I have a supplier. So basically what I'm saying is we need to grow the industry. I have so much passion in this industry, and not only the creative industry, everything that you sell, from the circles, the banks, even what Angela is doing. The first time I met Angela was again Canex, and we talked, and it's all about synergies, networking. So guys, before you leave this place, if you don't have a contact, if you've not gotten value, tutashika beef nyuma ya tent. So I was just trying to do an icebreaker. Na DJ icebreaker, tumetoka lunch, watu wasimame, we dance again, because we're here to connect, to collaborate, to learn and to grow. Sindio? Simameni, again, I want to recognize one of our best artists in Kenya. He's so underrated. He's supposed to be the best globally. Major, the latest challenge. So again, tusimame challenge nyingine. Sijui nani atatulead. And was Angela here, the previous dance? So I'm going to invite Angela. I'm going to invite Jonita, Esther, so that you guys, we can dance together. Siwezi dance peke yangu because it's after lunch, we need to, and Mama Esther. So it's going to be an Esther affair. Benedita, you can also come and see how you can support us, because guys, we are here to connect, to laugh, to enjoy. Sawa. Angela, before you leave, kuja ndio sasa ukitoka, but then this lady is so passionate, you need to know her. Let me give her a chance to introduce herself formally for maybe the people who will not be here tomorrow. Also, my brother can come, also introduce yourself, because he might not also be able to make it. And I'm connecting you guys to the people. These are the people, you need to know them. So she can introduce herself before we do the challenge.
Thanks so much, Judy. And good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, it's a pity I couldn't, no, it's all right, do my presentation this afternoon because of time, of course, but tomorrow morning I'll be here, and I'm hoping that I see all of you tomorrow, because it's going to be a very engaging session. Talk about IP, and you can see IP is at the core, and we have the All Africa IP Summit lead here, who'll also talk about what he's doing as well. As Judy says, you know, it's all about networks, collaboration, and working together to ensure that this creative industry works. I'm so happy to see the camp members here. Thank you so much for making time. Tomorrow there'll even be more, I've been told, so we can be able to just come together and make this work. But I am, yes, very passionate about the industry, particularly about intellectual property issues, copyright issues, and ensuring that you can monetize whatever it is, the talent and whatever it is that you have. And most importantly, ensuring there's investment that goes into the industry so that there's a return on that investment, create a conducive environment to ensure that this industry can also be termed as trade, as the PS said this morning. So thank you so much. Sand, please come and say one or two words.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Angela, for that setting the stage. You see, Africa creates so much. Yet, when you want to talk about Africa, they talk about it from the perspective of poverty, from the perspective of commodity exports, because they feel Africa creates, but we don't own. Intellectual property ensures you own in a sustainable manner. So, as Angela has said, it's not just about commercializing your idea, it's about sustaining that commercialization. every product that has stand the test of time has IP as the backbone. Africans create, we have creatives, we have all our music. I've listened to fantastic music a while ago. But where is the royalty going to? Who owns the infrastructure that pipes and sustain the fortunes that comes from it? It is not in Africa. It's domiciled outside Africa. And that is why the All African IP Summit is coming to Nairobi. Nairobi, congratulations to you guys for winning this year's All African IP Summit, which is the 7th edition. Last year we were in Senegal, upper year we were in Rwanda. Every African country will host the All African IP Summit once in 54 years. Once in 54 years, because currently we have 54 African countries and we'll have one time to host it. And you know what? This year's team is called Mainstreaming Intellectual Property for Trade, Industrialization, and Creative Economic Transformation. That is why I'm here. So how do you look at these three? We've always traded, but we trade commodity. Have you seen, tell me 5 African products that is globally recognized? You struggle. Tell me the industrial platform that pharmaceutical, we import so much, but we don't own anything. We saw the example in COVID. I don't want to take a lot of time, but I'm saying, let's come together. IP is important. It's an asset that we can transfer to generation. It is no more land. Asset is no more in land. Asset is intangible and it's intellectual property. Your product can be valued because of your investment in your intellectual property. So Angela will do a fantastic job tomorrow, yes. And I will also endeavor to be here. Okay, the date for the All African IP Summit is from 11 to 13th November, and it will be taking place in O Serena Hotel. We have Kekobo as our partner. We have the AFCFTA IP protocol. By the way, AFCFTA has come to stay, but we have a protocol that has been adopted by the head of state, which is IP protocol, and the All African IP Summit is leading that charge for the implementation for the private sector. From 11 to 13th November 2026 will be taking place in Nairobi, and we are pulling all Africans to come to Nairobi to talk about how to ensure IP work for Africa and change the IP narrative. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Judy. The challenge continues. You're not sitting down, Angela. So, in fact, it was supposed to be Sandy's session. Vile sasa Angela hajaeza, it's moved to Sandy. So, DJ, let's dance to the latest challenge for Major. Mama Esther, sijawasahau. And Esther, you can also come. Yes, for us to have fun, guys. DJ. And the dance lead. Nani anatu lead dance? Me, I'm not a good dancer. Boniface, nakuona hebu kuja. Hakuna creative anaweza tuongoza. Niyo. Tutaweza hiyo. There's another one. Nimboka ama there's another one. DJ. Wataka kutupeleka. Hey, okay. Well, we have to support the industry. Yeah. There's the new one, DJ. Not that one. Inaitwa Mboka. Wale wenye wanaelewa. Si inaitwa Mboka? Mboka. Kuja utuongoze Mboka. Ana nod kabisa. DJ Mboka tafadhali. Roba, kwani Dex Nick, come and help us to dance Mboka tafadhali, guys. Yeah? You know, it's after lunch. I'm trying to amke kidogo before we finish the day. DJ, do you have the Mboka ama? Okay. DJ. Waya imekatika. Okay, we are good. The Equity team, Adon kujeni hata amkeni kidogo. Alan, come. I want people to changamka. We are so dull. It's the Creative Connect Africa tumeshiba pale. By the just to recognize Chef Omar and his team. Awesome food. Everything was awesome. Just to appreciate, that's another sector tunasawingi sana. It's also a creative economy sector. Sasa ndio hiyo, Who is the lead?
Sapi, yeah. Niko busy wezi pata kwenye selula. Tumbo waina haya kila sina taka kukula. Uda usisote manze tumia iyo medula. Piga mboka. Mini hasla, utaijua. Neza uza ice, kakuna mvua. Hasla mbaya na kwambia najitambua. Piga mboka. Madha nataka do, mtoe nataka do, sherehe nataka do, msupa nataka do. Dona piga mboka. Buda piga mboka. Wolan, madha nataka do, mtoe nataka do, msupa nataka do, sherehe nataka do. Dona piga mboka. Buda piga mboka. We, muwe ndage komba na chupa ngumu ya twani. Njana zotaona wastika tu chwani. Unanipate do, ganji. Wolan, nikikosa kazi ya ofisi mina uza mboga na washika marikiti. Ama kama gera nishikapo pamukonji. Unanipate do.
Mama Esther, pia wezi kwende tukumbushe.
Na wacheki.
Let's go.
Mkihaso na wacheki. Big up. Single mom na wacheki. Mkihaso na wacheki.
Mama Esther, we have to agree.
Geto youth na wacheki.
Mama Esther ameweza.
Mkihaso na
Auntie Esther.
wacheki. Big up. Family man na kucheki.
I can see some Gen Zs. I need to see some moves. We have to support our talent. Okay.
Gengelivity. Wolan, yo, check it. Yo. New style,
this is where the money
style.
is, guys. Hapa ndio pesa iko.
Kama janitor. Safisha white kama janitor. Safisha. Yeah, safisha white kama janitor. Kama janitor. Go. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Safisha white kama janitor. Yeah, kama janitor.
Asante DJ. So that's where the money is at, guys. Hiyo haikuwa jokes. Hapo ndio pesa iko. So we can cue a video. This is a very sentimental video to us as Pulse Africa. So let's keep silent and just watch. And then I'm going to just share a bit brief about it.
In 2021, a movement was born. The Pulse Influencer Awards have celebrated the voices that inspire the creators who lead and the moments that move millions across Africa. 6 countries, countless stories, over 11 million votes, all driven by you, the audience. Now, in the 5th year, a new era begins. A bold new identity for a bigger impact. Welcome to the Royal Renaissance, a rebirth of what it means to lead and influence in the new era. This is more than an awards show. It's a coronation of Africa's digital royalty. Get ready to choose your next kings and queens. Get ready for the 5th edition of the Pulse Influencer Awards. The Royal Renaissance has begun.
The wait is almost over.
What do you have to say? Tupige makofi. How do you feel in your hearts? Have you felt the energy? Yeah? So that is the future, guys. So basically, Pulse Africa has brought the Pulse Influencer Awards. I've been the lead organizer for East Africa, Kenya for 5 years, Uganda for 3 years. And this is where my passion began. I'm not standing here because of the Creatives Connect Africa, just because it's a coincidence. It's because of these awards. I've grown with these creatives. Many people in the industry didn't even know who was the first person behind it. We've gotten backlash, but I've seen the impact. I know there are so many creatives who can come here and give a testimony of these awards, what it's done to them. And it's not about winning. Today, I was to do a presentation, but honestly, that cannot even work. I don't want to make you guys sleep, but I've seen people make livelihoods from this. Influencers, creatives, they come back to me and tell me, Judy, thank you so much for the opportunity. I've gotten an endorsement with a brand. That is my joy. And one time I had to realize, I think the third edition, this is not just an awards. This is a movement across Africa. So let me just give you a brief overview about Pulse Africa. We are 6 markets. We have the West Africa markets, that's Nigeria and Ghana. We have the Francophones, that's Senegal and Cote d'Ivoire. We have East Africa, that's Kenya, Uganda. So this happens across the 6 markets. So you can imagine, yeah? We've grown a whole industry of influencers, creatives, content creators. Some of them, they are here. They've seen, just to recognize Jonita, who works closely with the creatives in the industry. So one thing I've identified is, we've identified the talent, we've awarded them, we've seen the impact. But now, how do we give back to them? That's why I'm standing here. That's why I got the responsibility to do all this and bring you guys here today, different stakeholders, just to appreciate Alan. Alan knows where we are from, this journey, and I've pushed Alan so much. Also, to recognize a lady who is at that corner. She's been so supportive. Her name is Gloria. You can just wave from where you are. She doesn't talk much, but I make sure I drag her where she is. Also, to recognize my team, Msuya, Damaris, I've worked so closely with them. Those ladies, they've cried because of these awards, but they know where we are at now. So it's time to give back to the industry. How can these creatives make money? That is why we are here today. And it's because this is going to be one of the biggest movement, and you can see how much money that is being put in the creative economy. So even ourselves as Kenya, as East Africa, we need to start positioning ourselves. We need to be in the right places. When I was doing an interview, one of the people who are interviewing me, they did ask me, what should creatives do? And what is one thing that they need to take from this? They need to position themselves. They need to join these master classes. They need to be in the right places. You may have talent, but if you're not in the right place, it may not take you far. Also, to recognize a friend of mine who is now a content creator there, Nick, I can see you. He started it, and it's working for him. Also, to recognize an artist, Branko, you can wake up. This is an artist. He had an interview at NTV. I have a close relationship with him. He's ever telling me, Auntie, every day, Auntie, naenda interview hapa, Auntie, nafanya hivi, and I have to support him. So guys, everyone who is here today, let's support the creative economy. It's a movement, there's passion. But for me, I need to challenge also the creatives. I know most of them, they're going to be coming in tomorrow. You have to put the work, yeah? We will give you the right stakeholders, but also you have to put the work. Also, to recognize James. James, come to the stage. I have a testimony with this young man. I don't know if, did your friends come? The other of your friends? Yeah? They didn't make it? It's okay. So, if you guys, you've noted something, have you seen the creatives at the CBD? the guys who take photography, they kila wakati wanaitanga, I want a photo. That's another livelihood. So I met these young men at the CBD. I would want him to introduce himself and what he does. Most of them were not able to make it today, and why. So when I was planning this event, there's one gap I didn't know. They cannot even afford it. That's the pain. That's why even most of them are not here today. Esther has been making calls, Emily has been making calls. So what we did, we decided to make it free for them. And we're hoping they're able to make it tomorrow. So to all the stakeholders here, PayPal, Alan, and all the other stakeholders, let's also remember these young people, they need someone to hold their hand and they want to see themselves go far. Let me give this young man, he's shy, but I know he can say something.
Hello. Hi everyone. I'm James Getonga. I'm a street photographer. Yeah, we met Judy and she invited me here. Yeah, I know street photography is not easy. Sometimes we get, most of the people say no. You call them, hey boss, picture 100 too, come big, and most they say no, most they laugh at us, most might insult, but we keep moving. Apart from street photography, I'm also into fashion, and since it's a creative Connect Africa, I did get a chance to be in big runways, so I created my own, I founded my own brand. It's called Kenya Street Style. We usually model in town, and we did our first edition on 2nd August. And the other edition will be on October 4th. And I would like brands like McBell to join us because I can see their vibe is going hand in hand with the Kenya Street Style. Yeah, you can check us on Kenya Street Style on Instagram. My personal page is by James Getonga. Yeah, I do modeling there. And Judy, thank you for this opportunity. Yeah, thank you. Na mkitupata tao, tukikuita upigwe picha, unatupromote, okay?
Asante James, I didn't even know about the street runway fashion thing. It's new to me and we're going to support. Courtesy of Mekbal, Msuya, take note of that, and other stakeholders, we're going to support you. Asante sana, even for making time. And it's a big tribe and we're going to make sure this movement, courtesy of also Jonita, who I'm going to call to stage, because why I wanted James here today, it's because there's a body that is supporting the creatives in the industry. And this young lady, I used to school with her at high school. You can come, Jonita. My story is intertwined. Ruby and Katuko, homeboys, everyone, I have a story. Even Dixon today, the person behind camera, that's my brother from another mother. I know him from somewhere. So my tribe is here today because of the passion. This lady, they're doing an awesome job. So I'm going to give her the opportunity to share what they do and how they're going to help the creatives. Asanteni sana.
Thank you so much, Judy. So yes, we met in high school. So nauliza, something that will make you remember Judy. We met in high school, then Judy, we were in one room together. Ilinifanya nikamkumbuka. There's something about her. Her hair, yes. Imagine nywele tangu high school, like, oh wow. That particular tips. So yes, I'm a creative. My name is John. I'm the Deputy Operations Director at DCCK. What we do at DCCK, tomorrow we're going to have a session, but nita summarize to kidogo. We push for clean content. We have partnered with Kenya Films Commission. Anyone who was in Kalasha? So during Kalasha, we introduced 2 categories for digital content creators. One was best digital content creator, and number 2 was positive impact content creator. That was Shiksha. So we've also partnered with the Chinese embassy. This year and last year, we've been able to take like 15 content creators for exchange program. How to register? We have a website, dcck.ke. You can register as a member. Then we are going to look at your profile. Then you're going to get a message. We've partnered with USIU, Sanara, Hiva Fund. Last week we paid 100 graduates from USIU where we did training for content creators. We address issues like IP, data protection, especially people who are doing street filming. You don't just take photos and post. So we talk about data protection. So we also have, for members, we currently have 1,300 members. We've been to Kisumu, Kakamega, Mombasa, and where else? Yes, and Nairobi pia. So karibuni sana DCCK, and hopefully kesho you will get to learn more about it. Tuliambiwa kuna kutoka stage kama kuna mtu.
Good, good, good. Round of applause for Jonita. All right, I would like us to segue into the next segment, and I will be inviting to the stage Mr. Noah Otiende, who is the Director of Film Services, State Department for Youth Affairs, Creative Economy. And he's going to do a commercialization clinic and open Q&A session. So all the questions that you have to ask, feel free to send them his way. Karibu sana.
You're setting me up with questions. Please allow me to read from here. But I'm happy to be here today, and also happy to see some people that I've interacted with, the likes of Joanita from Digital Content Creators Association. And there are quite a number of things that we are working around, like we are hoping to soon have a content creation festival. And I'm glad that we are in the same track, because I've heard Joanita speaking about clean content, because one of the things that we are trying to champion is the promotion of clean content and a way of keeping the young people busy. So my task here is one, I am a content creator and I have a lot of things to say, but for today I'm tied to a speech because I'll be speaking on behalf of the principal secretary who was supposed to be here but is unfortunately engaged in another engagement. So he sent me with his speech to read, then thereafter probably we can be able to engage on some of the things that you might have, maybe from the speech or even from the wider creative economy. So allow me to just read on behalf of the Principal Secretary. So distinguished guests, leaders and practitioners from the creative industry, our private sector and development partners, representatives from academia, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. My name is Noah Otiende, Director of Film Animation and Gaming, as it has already been mentioned, and at the same time I'm holding fort as Acting Secretary Creative Economy at the State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy. It is a pleasure to represent the Principal Secretary, State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy, Mr. Fikirini Jacobs Katoi Kahindi, at this important event. And I wish to commend Creatives Connect Africa, AfriNext Ventures, and the Promised Land for convening this timely conversation around the commercialization and sustainability of Africa's creative enterprises. And we see that the focus of today's program is around sustainability, monetization, and growth. And this comes at an important moment for not only Africa's, but also Kenya's creative economy. Africa's creative sector is no longer simply an area of cultural expression. It is an important part of our economic landscape, creating employment, supporting enterprise development, attracting investment, and shaping how Africa is seen and experienced globally. And the question that is before us today is therefore no longer whether Africa has creative talent. We all know and we've all seen that we have quite a lot of talent. The opportunity now is to ensure that this talent is supported by the structures, the markets, the technology, and investments necessary for it to generate lasting economic value. We've seen a trend where technology is fundamentally changing the creative economy narrative. And when I speak about technology, I want to narrow down to AI. And we've seen the transformation, the way content is conceived, the way content is produced, edited, distributed, and even marketed. And we've seen a trend where the digital platforms have removed many of the traditional barriers between the creators and the audiences. And now, as a creator in Nairobi, you can be able to reach an audience across the borders, and that is across Africa and even across the world. And this, therefore, presents a significant opportunity for Africa. As a government, we recognize the importance of this transition and the need to ensure that our young people are equipped to participate meaningfully in the digital economy. These are not issues for government alone. They require informed engagement between policymakers, creators, technology companies, right holders, academia, and the wider industry. One of our biggest objectives together should be a digital creative economy in which African creators are not only users of the technology, but also the owners, the innovators, and the beneficiaries of the values it creates. One of the most important shifts taking place is the movement from simply creating content to trying to build sustainable creative enterprises. And the digital platforms have created unprecedented access to audiences. But audience reach must increasingly translate into sustainable commercial value. And that is why the conversations like what we are having the yesterday, today, and the next couple of days around branding, around enterprise structuring, around contracts, around IPs, around financing, around distribution and market access, and are very, very important. So I'm glad that such initiatives are here, because this is what actually builds us as content creators. And one of the things that we also realize is that the creative entrepreneur of today is not only an artist. You realize that they're increasingly becoming enterprise owners, they're increasingly becoming IP holders, they're becoming employers and participants in the global digital marketplace. And this is an important evolution in how we understand the creative economy. There is also a significant continental opportunity. The African Continental Free Trade Area provides an important framework for expanding the movement of goods and services across the continent. The creative economy has an important place within that emerging continental market. Things like African music, film, fashion, design, literature, gaming, animation, and digital content already travel across borders. And the opportunity now that we have together is to strengthen the commercial systems around that movement. So the Kenyan creatives should be able to find audiences around places like Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Rwanda, and definitely beyond. As this sector continues to develop, another element becomes increasingly important, and that is what we call social dialogue. And this is a conversation that we've really been having at State Department level and also with partners around focused on creative economy. And in the near future, we hope that we can be able to bring partners together so that we can engage on this aspect of social dialogue. Because one of the things that we've realized as this sector continues to develop is that as creatives, you get that most creatives work most of the time in silos. And the reason why we are hoping to have this social dialogue is to bring together a diverse range of interests. And that would include government, the content creators, the industry associations, the investors, the financial institutions, technology companies, academia, platform and development partners. Because each of these partners brings a different perspective and they are a different part of the solution. So it would be very, very good to have all of us looking at the same goal and being focused in achieving one and the same thing. The government has been strengthening the institutional and policy environment for the creative economy. Industry continues to develop new forms of enterprise and creative expression. The private sector is bringing in technology, investment, and market opportunities. Academia is contributing skills and research. The next opportunity, therefore, is to connect these efforts more deliberately. Structured social dialogue provides a platform for that. It allows the sector to identify shared priorities, it allows the sector to exchange knowledge, address emerging issues, and also develop partnerships around practical opportunities. All this issue around social dialogue is about ensuring that the people who create, the people who finance, the people who regulate, the people who distribute and consume creative products are all part of the same conversation. And that becomes particularly important as we navigate AI, digital platforms, and IP financing and access to regional and international markets. As I finish, allow me just to speak a bit on the government and the creative economy. And the government of Kenya has recognized the creative economy as an important pillar of economic opportunity, particular for our young people. Most recently, as a State Department, we've managed to get an approved structure that recognizes the creative economy as a standalone directorate with various divisions. And the divisions that will be included there include the division of film, animation and gaming, division of music, performing arts, visual, literary arts and pageantry, and the division of registration and licensing. And what this means, you might ask yourself, what this means is that soon we'll be having opportunities for creatives like you and me now coming into government and working in government, and that is an advantage in itself because now we'll be able to get people who actually understand the industry and people who actually practice in the industry working in government. So things like development of policies, things like development of programs will be way, way easier. So just watch out the space. In the near future, we are hoping to be able to, once the processes have gone through, we are hoping to be able to do a major recruitment under the Creative Economy Directorate, which is a pretty new directorate in the State Department. I think 4 or 5 months old. In progress, we also have the Creative Economy Bill, which is currently in Parliament, work in progress. I know we've received some memorandum from the Creative Sector Working Group, and we've looked at them. And we are trying to build it to be a bill and a policy that is inclusive and captures the creative economy in totality. We also have the Copyright Amendment Act 2026, which is also work in progress. So all this, of course, needs a lot of patience, and we believe that soon we'll get things running under the creative economy. Our approach as government is centered on creating an enabling environment in which creativity can translate into enterprise, employment, and investment. And this includes strengthening the policy and institutional framework, as I've just mentioned, supporting skills and capacity development, improving market access, encouraging investment and partnerships, and ensuring that the creative economy is appropriately positioned within Kenya's broader economic agenda. But the strength of this sector will ultimately come from the ecosystem around it and not government alone. Government can create the enabling environment. The industry brings the talent, innovation, and enterprise. The private sector brings investment, technology, and markets. Financial institutions can develop products suited to creative businesses. Academia, also a partner, develops skills and knowledge. The development partners bring expertise and additional resources. And the creators, the likes of you and me, now bring the most important ingredient of all, which is the creativity. So the opportunity before us is to try as much as possible to bring all these strengths that we have together. And in conclusion, Africa stands at an exciting point in the evolution of creative economy. We have a young population, we have an extraordinary creative talent, we have a rapidly expanding digital environment, we have a growing continental market, and we have increasingly sophisticated creative enterprises emerging across our countries. The biggest task that we have now is to ensure that the economic value generated from this creativity is increasingly captured by African creators and African enterprises. And that is why conversations such as what we are having today is pretty important, because it helps in terms of connecting creativity with enterprises. It helps in terms of connecting creators with markets and connecting ideas with investments. As government, we welcome this dialogue and the partnerships that are going to emerge from it, because I believe that we'll get quite a number of partnerships from this. So as I finish, let us continue to build an environment in which Africa creativity is protected, is financed, commercialized, and taken to the world. And let us ensure that the future of Africa's creative economy is not simply about how much content we produce, but how much value, how much ownership, enterprise, and opportunity that creativity generates for our people. And to end, I want to wish you fruitful deliberations, meaningful partnerships, and a successful session both today and tomorrow. And thank you, and may God bless you. So, as the MC had said, I allow me to take any.
Yes.
I won't call them questions, any pointers that you might have.
I'll start with mine,
Thank you.
In your speech, you've said the government creates an enabling environment while the creators provide the talent. Could you kindly break down how the government is doing this? Because I feel like we have an overflow of talent already. The pool is there, the talent is not lacking. Some of them are professional, some are not. But I would like you to kind of get into what the government is actually doing for this enabling environment.
Thank you for the very good question. As I mentioned, one of my key highlights was that it's work in progress. And one of the things that we've really tried to do, I think this is the first time that government there are a lot of changes that are actually happening in government, and this is actually the first time that we are having content creators in being, not even content creators, but creatives in totality, being employed in government, which is a step in the right direction. And majority of us who have gotten into government in the recent past, and the past I'm talking about between 1.5 years, one of the things that we've championed, number one, was to try and ensure that we have a policy, because a policy is what actually gives the foundation of what the creatives can be able to do. And in the policy now we can have things like the funding structures, we can have things like rules and regulations, and we can have other things, incentives, tax incentives, we can have things that will pretty much be able to sustain the creative economy. So that is one. And number two, another thing that we've championed is the introduction of the Creative Economy Directorate, which is still work in progress. And I'm saying that because we are yet to recruit the professionals. And the professionals, that means that we'll be getting professionals, people who have studied fashion, people who have studied music, people who have studied animation, gaming, name it, all the different domains under the creative economy. So this actually will be the first time that we'll have professionals within government who can then be able to push and drive the narrative, which I believe is a big step. So it's work in progress, but I believe we'll get there.
I'd also like to open up the Q&A session to the rest of the floor. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm going to ask another question as guys prepare, or like they're racking their brains. A lot of what you've said is work in progress. So I want to work with a timeline, yeah? For example, I am a talented creative who's here already, and I have listened to your speech, and I would like to access some help from the government over the next 12 months. What exactly can I access, and where can I access it?
Very good question, and I can see where you're taking me. Well, fortunately or unfortunately, in government we have to go with structures and procedures and processes, and even developing some of these financing frameworks that we are talking about. We need to go through processes and procedures, and most of it normally involves legislations, passing the bills in parliament, passing these things in parliament. So I can't really give a definite timeline, because I can't say that within the next 12 months or within the next 6 months we'll be able to access this particular kind of funding. And the reason why I'm saying it's work in progress is because some of these documents that we are talking about are actually in parliament, and they're going through the procedures and legislative processes that they actually need to go through. So based on that, what we can do, and I believe in the next couple of months, most of you will also be joining me from this side. And as I'll be talking, I'll be saying what we can do is try and push this agenda as much as possible. And one of the things that I've kept on saying as I move around, because I've been a creative myself, I've been in the creative industry, I think, for 15 years. I actually just joined government last year, but I've been a filmmaker, I've been a sound engineer, so I've worked in the creative industry extensively. I've also worked as in academia for quite a number of years. And one of the things that I would urge, now speaking, being on this side of the platform, one of the things that I would urge the creatives is try and support those people who have decided to get into government, at least to try and push the narrative. Try and support them as much as possible, because the other day I was talking to one of my colleagues, and she was telling me that the heat is too much, and she's got into a space whereby she wants to leave because she feels like she's not getting the support. But I normally tell the creatives that if a creative from the industry decides to cross over this side and decides to put in the effort and the time to push the narrative, the much you can do as the creatives is to try and support them, so that they don't get, because it's not easy working in government, of course, with structures and procedures, especially if you come from the private sector. So if they get the challenges this side, and again they get the challenges outside within the creative ecosystem, then it becomes a challenge. So I hope I've answered your question.
Open the floor. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask now. Come on, Aswali. I don't want to hog Nick. I do have another question. I have another question. If anyone has a question, okay, not yet. I want to ask this final one, yeah? So how do we measure that government investment in the creative economy is working? Everywhere we go, everyone works with KPIs. So what KPIs would be the government be looking at to say, okay, we're seeing that our investment, our effort, time, whatever it is, we're actually actualizing something. We're doing something that is successful.
A very good question. I think for me, it would be in terms of the programs that are rolled out and the impact, looking at the impact that the programs have on the creatives, because one of the things that we are trying to do is to develop targeted programs, and because of the various divisions, we are trying to develop programs, of course, with the various agencies and departments within the government. We're trying to develop targeted programs in that we try and have a program for maybe the content creators, we try and have a program for the filmmakers, we try and have a program for the musicians, we try and have a program for the fashion and maybe visual arts. So we are currently in the process of developing programs that are targeted, programs that can in some way impact. And we are also trying to carry out a study, because one of the things that we've realized is that we don't have a substantial study that gives us a detailed analysis of what we are looking at. So at the moment, we are working from a point of assumptions, which we are trying now to cure, because we are trying to get to a place whereby we can do a detailed study, so that as much as we are rolling these programs, we can have something that we look to and we can say that now this is actually the state of things on the ground in terms of the number of creatives we are looking at, the number of, for example, content we are looking at, the amount of income it's bringing to the GDP, because now such a study will now guide us in the right direction, and it will make our programs more targeted. So in terms of KPIs, we are trying as much as possible to drive quite a number of programs out. We are also trying as much as possible to get funding, which is actually the biggest issue for creatives. And not only funding, we are trying also to look at ways in which the industry can be sustainable, because funding is one thing and then sustainability again is another thing. Having worked in the film industry, I've been in situations whereby we've accessed quite a bit of funding to do films, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of other factors that come in, because you spend millions in a film, quality is top-notch, but then again you realize that the screen culture, we don't have a strong screen culture, so the return on investment in the films then again becomes a challenge. And I've seen quite a number of people in the industry dropping out of the, for example, of film to other things, because they say, yes, content is good, our quality is going top-notch, but the return on investment is not working. We are putting out the films, but nobody is actually coming to watch. So there are a lot of things that we are trying to do, and that's why I said in one of the areas, I read that one of the areas that we are trying to look at is the issue of social dialogue, because from this side, we realize for us to push this agenda, we need sort of like a mixture of people. We need people in government, we need the creatives in the various sectors, we need people from academia who are good in research, we need the financiers, we need the policy makers, we need the IP professionals. So this thing, I think for it to move, we need to come to a place whereby we understand that we are all working towards the same goal, and we need to now hit this thing together for it to be able to move.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nick. Do we have any questions before I allow him. Yes, we do have a question here.
I'm almost running away.
Usiogope.
No, actually, my question is simple, and I think you're in the best position to answer, having been a creative and in the government now. How do we bridge that gap in communication? Because when we're speaking to policymakers, they say, okay, we want the creatives to come and contribute. When you're talking to the creatives, there we've not been involved. We don't know how to tap in. So as you're coming up with these policies and directives, how can we bridge that communication gap? How?
Good, thank you. How can we bridge the gap? Actually, one of the reasons why we created the Creative Economy Directorate was because we realized that we didn't have a structure in government that would help in terms of managing the creatives, because we realized we were actually very few. I can actually count within the structures of government, people who are actually, for lack of a better word, people who have actually studied or people who have practiced within the creative economy. So the easiest way we thought of it to bridge that gap was to have an approved structure that manages the creative economy, and within this approved structure now do what we call targeted recruitment, whereby the other day we were working on because as I mentioned, government has quite a number of processes. So once the structure is approved, then you need to work on a document we call career guidelines. And in the career guidelines, that's where now you put the roles and responsibilities, and you also put the qualifications that you need. So we really tried as much as possible to for lack of a better word, to ring-fence this specific directorate called Creative Economy. So once these things are out in public, you will realize that we'll be very structured in the way that we are reaching out to the people that we recruit, because now we'll be asking for qualifications in film, qualifications in animation and gaming, qualifications in fashion, bachelors in fashion, bachelors in music production. So it's very targeted so that we can be able now to have people who understand when you speak about a film, it's somebody who understands actually a film because they've done it. When you speak about content creation, they don't think about it as TikTok or Instagram, because there's so much behind the journey of content creation, because these are people who have done it maybe via practice, or these are people who have actually studied it in school. So that's one of the ways we believe that we'll be able to bridge the gap once you're able to have people who are qualified and people who have industry practice and industry experience, because now it will be easy to push the agenda. And it's normally also easy to push the agenda if you have numbers. For now, I think we are around 2 or 3, if I'm not wrong, 2 or 3. But in the near future, because the establishment speaks about almost, if I'm not wrong, 400 to 500 people. So I believe that for a start would have an impact in terms of pushing that agenda.
All right. Do we have another question? Okay, Nick, as I let you sit.
No.
No. Oh, no, sorry. As I let you sit, I'd like to ask on that communication point, yes? Since we have said, we're going to put structures in place and have people who are qualified, for now you're accessible to us. Are we free to get your number, your card? Can we talk to you about some of the projects that we're working with? This is the low-hanging fruit. Tutaanza wewe kwanza.
Please feel free. My socials, no Otiende, mtanipata. The office, there are some of you who have come to my office. I'm always available, walk-in policy. Our offices are in Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. Just look for Department of Film Services. If you also need help, you can go to Talanta Plaza, that is 6th floor. Ask for anybody within the creative economy tatufikia. We're always fast to speak and just engage as much as we can. So check my socials, no Otiende. I respond to all messages and LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, niko hapo. TikTok tu ndio si niko, but I'm using a pseudonym. Yes.
Muskia, he's very accessible. Janita has a question.
Yes, I would like us to push for incentives for creatives. It's so hard as a independent filmmaker to shoot. Like 2 weeks ago, we had a short film. So tell me why I have to pay 5K for a short film and 1,000 per day for a short film. And also when you go to KFC, they're going to give you a letter. This letter you need to take, if you are, we were shooting in town, Nairobi, Apo CBD. So you have to take this letter to DIG. DIG has to take this letter to OCS. And also you have to, like we ended up paying a lot. So we need incentives for creatives. And also make it possible for us to import our talent out there, because that's our tool of trade. Yes.
Thank you. I hear you, and I know the current scenario is a bit difficult, considering having been there before. And actually, one of the dreams I have is there's a project that we are trying to push with partners that is called Keja Creative Hub, and this is a hub that we hope to develop based on a bit of funding from both partners and hopefully government, as a hub that will have all the different domains of the creative economy in one particular area. So we are looking to build, we've already identified a space, and we are looking to build auditoriums in that space. We are looking to build co-working spaces. We are looking to build studios. We are looking to build various studios that can be used for various creative economy domains. And on top of that, we are hoping now to have a one-stop shop. And by one-stop shop, I mean a model similar to Huduma Center, whereby when you go in, you can get KRA, you can get ID, you can get, so we are hoping to have sort of like a one-stop shop whereby you can have KFCB, KFC, everything, so that when you get into that room, you can be able to access everything in one round. So I know there are a lot of challenges that we have seen, there are a lot of challenges that we have actually gotten memorandums from the creatives to work on. As difficult as it is, we are trying to push it, and I believe we will get there. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
On that point of Jonita talking about exporting our talent, what would we say that the government is doing for Kenyan creatives to actually access the international market? And I'm not just talking about performances, we're talking distribution, licensing, publishing, and commercialization of their crafts.
I know one of the challenges that we've had has been around the area of distribution. And I get so passionate when I talk about distribution, because one of the things that I feel, especially for our industry, is that the value of our content, we are not, the measure of the value of our content is normally quite low. And that's why you might get an international distributor giving X amount, let's say, for an international film. Let me use maybe like percentages. Let's say like giving like 80% of the share to an international film and giving like 2 or 3% to a local film. So that's a conversation that we've had with some creatives, with some tech entrepreneurs, and one of the suggestions that was coming up was that we might need to develop our own platforms within that we can be able to monetize our own content regionally. But again, the danger that gives is that it sort of like
remove or sort of like stops the content from moving across the borders, because these platforms that we have open up the borders, but again the challenge is the income that actually comes from it. So these are things that we are trying to figure out. That's why I was saying it's actually a big puzzle that we are trying to build and move step by step. But again, to answer your question, we are trying to reach out. You've talked about exporting talent. We are trying to reach out to some of the international film companies, international film producers, and this time round not export our talent, but have them come to us. Because one of the things that we've seen is that if these people come to us, then they're able to spend whatever, because most of these productions have quite a lot of big budget, and we are talking about 50 million, 40 million, 100 million, and that is dollars. So you can imagine if you have a production that comes into the country and they're ready to spend that kind of money within the country. And some of the things that we're trying to discuss is that if you bring a production to the country and you want to spend this kind of amount, then try as much as possible to get a production company, a local production company at least, to support you. And that of course would mean job creation for the local people. Number two, it would mean visibility in terms of putting us on the international pedestal in terms of marketing. So that is one area that we are looking at. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were having conversations. I won't give details, but we are hoping that we can be able to get one of the very, very well-renowned actors. We just managed to get the conversation that they were targeting a specific country within Africa, and we managed to, for lack of a better word, to undercut and try and push, and we are trying to push to see that this production comes into Kenya, because we believe that it will be a game changer for us and a big opportunity for us as creatives, because it will bring a lot of openings for us.
Juu ya hiyo story, are we hosting the Grammys ama? It's valid question. You utaniambia nyuma ya tent.
Nitasema no comments.
We do have another question.
I'm very excited to hear that you are a filmmaker, so uko na experience ya hii industry. My question is, does the directorate have like muscle to influence some of the policies, like the fees that the creatives pay? Because some of them are really punitive, especially when you look at the drones and everything. It becomes that the 3 billion shillings industry is being driven by the money going out from the creative to the government and not the other way around. And also, do you have plans to sensitize other departments on the creative industry on simple things just like cameras, for example? This camera you're seeing over here, when I was importing it, it was held up at the customs for over 2 months. They handled it as if I was importing drugs. Like, you know, they didn't understand what this camera is. So do you have plans to sensitize the other departments within the government for them to be able to handle creatives the way they're supposed to? You've mentioned about bringing crew and directors to come and film here. When you're just a simple fixer, you get hell when you're just getting crew, other equipment to just film a commercial here, especially for a brand which is global. Those things. Okay, wacha nimalize.
Thank you. Very good question. It is a big task because, again, you know, some of the rules and regulations that are passed are involved with around matters of national security, especially when you talk about drones. And that's why they introduced things like the drone license. Your drone has to be registered. Even for us as a directorate, Department of Film Services, we have a drone, and our drone is actually registered. There's a time we actually, being government, we actually thought we could fly it without licenses, but it came down pole na ikaland na ikakata kusonga. And the guy who was operating it told me, checked it and told me, ikitu imefungwa. So we had to go and appeal, and they told us rules at the end we must follow, because if we open up the airspace, then it brings in a lot of issues and challenges. So around working with other departments, yes, it's something that can be done in terms of sensitization and trying as much as possible to sensitize. I know this issue of the fees is normally quite a big thorn in the flesh, and I'm hopeful that we'll be able to find a way of navigating around it. In terms of bringing in camera equipment, siwezi jibu, because that's a totally different, because there are a lot of things I think they look into when they are factoring in the issues of taxes and all that. But if, because other countries are doing it in terms of tax rebates, so one of the conversations that we are having is that, for example, if we are bringing a production team from outside, we should actually give them incentives, and some of the incentives are things like tax rebates, whereby they can come in with their camera equipment. Of course, other countries, even for us, because I've been in situations whereby I've crossed over to Rwanda, I've crossed over to South Africa, but when you get to the border, you're supposed to deposit some amount of money, and when you're coming out, they'll give you back the money. And the reason they do that is just to try and curb the illegal practices, because we've had situations whereby people cross in with gear and they sell it there in the pretense of coming to do a production, and they sell it there. So most governments, even in Europe, when you're crossing in with something that it's substantial, like a very big camera, they'll tell you to leave a deposit, but when you're leaving, they'll give you back your deposit upon checking key issues like the serial number and all other things, and ensuring that you just came out with everything that you came in with. So I think these are rules and regulations within the various revenue collection authorities in different countries, just to try and curb some of the illegal practices.
One more.
Hello, Mr. Otiende.
Yes, how are you?
I'm good. So I have a question on behalf of my fellow creators who are not here. You said there are 500 jobs upcoming, and
don't quote me.
50. It's not 50. Actually, 80% of photographers in the street are self-taught, including me. So are there provisions that people like us can get those jobs?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
And do I really have an answer for that? Let me give you a scenario. I've worked in academia for, I think, 10 to 11 years. And by academia, I mean a university setting. And one of the biggest challenges that we had was that it was very difficult getting people to teach specific areas. And these are areas like photography, areas like sound. Personally, I'm trained, I had the privilege of being trained in sound engineering. That was through a scholarship. So for me, it was I remember it was we call it moonlighting. I was moving from one institution to another. In a typical week, I would go to almost 6 institutions, because the way the institutions were structured was that for you to teach in a university, you had to have studied up to master's level. For you maybe to teach in a tertiary institution, which is TVET certified, a college, you must have studied up to degree level. So the challenge that was creating was that, for example, it was very difficult to get somebody who had studied photography up to master's level. Very difficult to get somebody who had studied even cinematography and sound. It's very, very difficult. So it was very challenging because we would not have professionals to come and teach those things. And we tried introducing some of these things into academia and telling them, look, because the Western world is actually doing it. If you go to universities, some of the great universities in the Western world and even in Asia, you'll realize from their structure, they have a professor or a lecturer who's theoretically oriented, but they have what they call an industry expert. And this industry expert does not necessarily have papers. But if you look at the field experience, they are very, very experienced. Like I remember when I was doing my postgraduate in Asia, 3 of the people who taught me had actually not set foot into a classroom. These were great producers. These are people who had 20, 30 years of experiences, and they were bringing it now into the classroom kind of setting. So it's a very good question that you've asked, but that needs a lot of policy discussions right from down, right from, let me call it from primary all the way to university, because it would need a lot of changes in a lot of things and the way structures are done. So it's a conversation that we've tried having, and we are hoping that we can have. And maybe just to finish off, I could encourage you, you've said you're a photographer. We have an institution that is called Kenya Film School. And the difference of Kenya Film School with other institutions is that it's the only institution that is offering studies based on what we call recognition of prior learning. So the difference is that if you go, for example, to Kenya Institute of Mass Communication, to ADMI, to MMU, USIU, most of the time they'll normally give you requirements, entry requirements, and they'll tell you that you need to have done maybe KCSE for a diploma, you need to have gotten a C, maybe for degree you need to have gotten a B or a B minus. But for Kenya Film School, we are taking even, in fact, majority of the students who are there are people who have not even done Form 4s. So recognition of prior learning is a structure and a model that looks at what you've actually done in the industry, because we normally go around the country doing the intakes, and some of the things that we tell the people who have applied to come with what you've actually done from the industry. And we look at that, and based on that, we're able to give you now an opportunity to come into Kenya Film School. And within 1 year, you can be able to get a TVET certified certificate. So that's one way of navigating it, because truth be told, doing away with certificates in this country, not even in this country, in the world, it's a challenge. So one way of navigating it is going through institutions that offer the RPL, because at the end of the day, you will have the certificate. And if you have that certificate, then it opens up opportunities for you even to move high up the ladder.
For me, no, it's a follow-up from James. Everyone is paying attention to what these young people are doing in the streets, even myself, and that's why he's here today. What are the next steps? Because even for me, how do we collaborate with you to support the young people? I get you, it's a whole process, but planning this, I've understood that they do not have the money. Even when you tell them to enroll, I'm an alumni of KMC, there's still money. I know KMC is one of the best, very affordable. We got the best, that's why we are here. But how can we support them? Do you have an ongoing program? Because we are even planning to do a festival in the CBD soon. Is it something that you guys can come on board? The question he's asking, he's here today. Directly, how can you support them? What is the actual process? Because we may say there are opportunities, but we need to know what is the next step. Am I supposed to come to your office, or what is the actual next step? Especially for him who attended this event today. Because even when I tell him to enroll, he doesn't even have, that's why they are there. I was there with them. In fact, my question to you is, are you doing anything with them currently? The creatives at the CBD. Maybe it will be a stepping stone, even myself, to know how can I support them through your institution.
I think, let me answer it in two fronts. Number one, actually the studies at Kenya Film School are heavily subsidized. And by heavily, I mean extremely subsidized. Because if I'm not wrong, I think a student would pay, is it around 60,000 if I'm not wrong, for the whole year. And with that you get access to classroom, you get access to meals, you get access to accommodation. And by meals, that's a 3-course meal. So these are heavily subsidized. And actually most of the people who we get there are people who are actually struggling. That's why we normally do what we call targeted recruitment. So we try as much as possible to look at people who can't really raise the funds. So that is one area. Number two, around whether we are working with the people, I've actually been to the streets, I've engaged them, I've had my photos taken, and from time to time I normally just sit down with them and get to hear their stories, because I would want to understand where some of them are coming from, and I'm aware of the challenges that they're going through. But one of the things that we are really trying to push, which brings me to the question of social dialogue, you realize that, and the reason why I said the creatives work in silos, you will realize that today Joanita will have the Digital Content Creators Association. Tomorrow we'll have somebody else open up something else. Before you realize, you have almost 7 Content Creators Association, and this is something that we are really struggling with, and we are trying to put in place mechanisms that can actually help us now sort of like merge these associations. Because one of the things that you realize is that the industry cannot move with the fragmentation as it is now. We need to come to a space whereby we understand that cartelism will take us nowhere, working in silos will take us nowhere, fragmentation will take us nowhere. So we need to understand that for us to move forward, we need to have this one umbrella body that we can all fall under, that can be able to push our agenda. Then once it is done that way, then it is easy now even to work with government and work with collaborations, because now it would be easy for us to say now, look, this is Digital Content Creators Association, these are the registered members, this is maybe, I'm trying to think of another one, Film Producers Association, this is Photographers Association, because we realize that once we're able to put this, our house in order, then it's easy now to be able to go out there even to financiers and share our agenda. Because most of the time when we are in these forums, one of the things that we hear, even from the financiers and the people who can actually support the industry, is that your industry is still not well developed, or it's still not well organized. So we are coming from a place whereby we want to bring, at least for a start, the various association heads. We sit together not only with the association heads, sit together with the various concerned parties within government, departments, sit down with the various development partners, sit down with the various financing partners, and now say, okay, this is the challenge that we have. these are the challenges that we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. How can we be able to navigate them together? So that's what we're actually trying to do, because until we come together, it will be impossible to work. So that's what we are trying to push at the moment.
And I agree, because I think being under the Media Council of Kenya, it's worked. Even the sieving, wanaitangwa the what? Wale,
Gutter press.
Yes. We've tried to, even the digital now platforms can enjoy what they're enjoying. So on behalf of even the associations, because I understand those wars, I've seen them. So are you planning to have a body? Because you see, like the way the nurses, they are protected in some way. The teachers, they have their association, the NAT and everything. Because I know the government is a regulator. So is there a plan? Because we have to have two entities. We have the private, we have the public, we have the parastatal, but what is the plan? And that is the question each and every person is asking. To may regroup. But you see, the moment you give me a platform, tell me, like now I'm under Media Council of Kenya. Why? Because I was given a platform. So what is that platform? Because you see, even for Jonita's platform, they saw wananyanyaswa. That's why they had to come together, and that's why they're silos. But I think the government needs to have a body that can regulate and control. Thank you.
That's a very good direction, because one of the visions that we have and some of the discussions that we've had is to have this umbrella body that could be maybe the Creative Economy Association of Kenya. Then now under it have the various associations, and we want to structure it in such a way that if, for example, there exists the Content Creators Association of Kenya, nobody else can actually go to the registrar of companies and open a different one, because they'll check their records and they'll tell you, you already have one, so if you want to join, go and join that one. So these are things that we're trying to align, and some of the suggestions that came up was that this Content Creators Association of Kenya, now the membership would be taken from the various association heads, or not even the heads, but would be derived from the various associations by them fronting, for example, somebody now to sit in this particular now umbrella body that governs all these others, so that when they are pushing the agenda is now coming from the various associations, which in turn is again coming from the content creators on the ground. So that's a vision that we have.
A comment. So about street filming, DCCAK and Youth Enterprise Fund are in discussions on how we can help street filmmakers. So one thing that we realized is that the cameras that they are using, they're of low quality. So even the photos that they are taking, they're not of that high standard. So what they're planning to do is to have a place where we can have quality equipment, and a photographer can come, hire, they'll not even be charged. You can get a camera from there, go do the work, then in the evening, return it. Then you can have another photographer come, get a camera, go take photos, return it in the evening.
Thank you, and I'm happy you've approached EDF. Some of these opportunities are actually there. It just needs you going to some of the offices and checking out the opportunities that are there. EDF is Youth Enterprise Development Fund, which funds youth, I think up to, is youth still at 35? I think up to 35, if I'm not wrong. Yes, and you can see, if you approach them from a perspective of an association, it's easier than me going as no and telling them I need money. But if I come with an association, I tell them, I have a Filmmakers Association of Kenya. How many are you? We are 500. What do you want? We want this fund. Then they in some way listen to you, because they know if they give you money, then the impact will be widespread, other than giving it to one person and you're not really sure how they are going to use and spend the money. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for reaching out to YEDEF, which is actually one of the agencies under the State Department of Youth Affairs and Creative Economy.
Do we have any more questions? Ask now or forever hold your peace. Okay, if there are no questions, I would like us to give a warm round of applause to Noah. Mr. Noah Tiende, thank you so much for that session. Very informative as well. Umesema tukufollow. Okay, I would like to invite our next speaker. This is a representative from Equity/PayPal, Alan, to kind of tell us a little bit of what Sam spoke about in the morning. I remember him mentioning equity insurance, how we can insure our instruments of trade. So he can come and give us some more insights on that particular matter and how they have been able to support the creatives commercialization masterclass. A warm round of applause, tafadhali. Amkeni. I know we're getting towards the evening. Mngoje cocktails and bitings, but in the meantime, we're still learning, okay? And I would like to invite you to come up on the stage. Tafadhali, grab your microphone as well. Asante sana. Okay, let me lend you mine. Sijui kama utanipatia funding juu ya hii microphone.
Good evening to you. Okay, so perhaps I should start with a story so that tuchangamke. So mine will be brief, just a couple of minutes. And I have two short stories that I would like to start. And as we proceed with the content for today, you'll get to understand why I prefer to start with the two. So one story, you remember a while back when the president was talking about unafinya computer na dollars inatoka? That was around 2 years ago, and online gigs and this creative space was booming, and guys were really making tunes. So I had a customer referred to me because they deemed the issue that really required quite some support. And once they came to us, they were really glad at the end because the issues that we sorted them out, they were seeking to get paid via PayPal and required to initiate withdrawals and access the funds into the country. And they were going to do it for a long time. So they came to us initially with the intention just to set up a PayPal account and withdraw. Then with time, this individual realized that you can not only just initiate withdrawals to a local currency account, that's case, you can use, you can link your PayPal account to your USD account and initiate withdrawals and get some advantage in terms of you're able to access your funds in foreign currency, and if you're traveling, it comes in as a boost. But the story does not end here because with time, as we consulted with this customer, they realized that with Equity Bank, you're still able to get premium cuts, and these gave them more benefits even as they traveled as part of their business to Dubai, and while at the international airport lounges, they would access VIP and all that just because of the cards they had been issued with. That is just one story of someone who just realized a lot of potential that they can be able to access just by accessing financial services with Equity. Then on the other hand, similar case of a customer who is a content creator living in one of the slums in Nairobi. I might not go into details because they are a renowned brand in TikTok. But this guy was making a lot of money. Most of it, the earnings were being retained at TikTok. And once he converted them into their PayPal account, they did not have an idea of what to do with them. And they thought that the money is much safer there and was underutilized, as a matter of fact. So when they came to us and we realized the potential that they're sleeping on is because, yes, they've got the talent equity account, and it was running into millions. And you hear the guys from slums hoping to just do his gigs for a while before he now starts investment. But investment is not something that you wake up and know you're ready to. It's a gradual journey and something that should be there as a side hustle. So we came in and we supported this person, and they realized what they were able to do with the money once they initiated it and withdraw into the Equity Bank account, and they were able to get sound financial advice on how to invest it, and they are more happier right now, and they still continue to do their gigs. So my name is Alan Njoroge, and I work within Equity's International Banking and Cross-Border Payments. So what we do is we curate solutions that support Kenyans when it comes to cross-border payments and remittances, and not just get solutions, but also partner with strategic partners who come in. And once we partner, we're able to offer better financial services. And one such partner is PayPal. So Equity Bank is the only bank which has currently partnered with PayPal to offer PayPal withdrawal service. But right before I get into PayPal, I'd just like to cover a few more areas that my team lead commented on earlier in the session. So you are aware, and I'm not going to be here selling you all our products, but tuingie financial class kidogo tu, and we know what advantages we can just derive by knowing how to work around your finances. Okay? So I know we have one campaign, Lipa Bila Pressure, and maybe you've interacted, and we are selling you the Equity card. We are telling you you can make payments for free. So how many of you have actually taken a minute, gone through your statement, and when you make payments using wallet or other means, and their charges, kila mahali ukienda unalipa na wallet, unaangalia umechajiwa this amount, cumulatively, how much does it run to at the end of the year? Yes? Of course, there is a gift for participation. So, yes? It can run into thousands. Yes. So I tasked one person, and the amount was just an average Kenyan commuting to work. And it ran to slightly above 5,000. And I was telling him, that's my budget for, my annual budget for an official shoe. You know, man. Anyway, so besides the point, but the point is with Equity, whenever you are paying with Equity, for instance, when you're paying with your Equity card at a supermarket, at a petrol station, wherever, it's free for you as the customer once you swipe. So if the amount indicated is 300, you pay 300, there is no extra charge for you, okay? Right? The other thing is where you see that you can pay through Equity, and we have the Equity Pay Bill. It's free for you as the customer. Also, when you're sending money directly, Equity to Equity, it's also absolutely free. So you don't get to spend any amount on fee. So hapo nimewachanua kidogo, sio? So that extra 5,000 shilling or 10,000 depending, you know where to take it. So you can visit us at our branch, and you'll realize we have an amazing suite of products for cards. From if your parents back home wanauliza ni kadi gani nitachukua, we have some cards that are tailor-made for just those who are not using international payments. We have cards from Visa, Master, Amex that you can use internationally, and not just for cash, but even for USD. Okay? Right. So the other product that Sam spoke about is insurance. And I don't know if most of you know that the biggest peril that you can face is losing your belongings through fire, back at home, your equipment, your motor vehicle, and all that. We can't ever overemphasize about health insurance, because until you need it is when you really know its importance. So you can always get to speak to us about it. And the biggest, the most funniest thing is, and secretary now IB hapa, just walk into any Equity Bank branch, enter all the way to the manager, sit with them, get to know what we are offering, and get free financial Okay? And you're able to benefit a lot. So I mentioned about international banking, and before I just jump right into PayPal, one more thing that I'd like to mention. So if you happen to travel just within East Africa, you remember that Equity Bank has its subsidiaries, and we are across 6 subsidiaries. So if you go to Rwanda, Tanzania, Uganda, South Sudan, and DRC, you're able to still transact and actually even access your account over the counter and also on channel. So we are really going digital, and we're already there, and we can only better it because of what you're able to access just digitally. And our digital channels are Equity Mobile Banking platform, where with access to that app, and once you log in, you have access to most banking services. So when we say kutuma bila pressure and kulipa bila pressure, you just do it from the comfort of your phone. And if you prefer using a laptop, then we have Equity Online. For those in business and enterprise, large enterprise, we also have another channel called Equity Online for Business that has amazing capabilities, including bulk uploads and a lot that you can really benefit from. But lastly, now allow me to just get into a partnership with PayPal and the Equity PayPal withdrawal service, and then I can wind it up, and if any question I can respond to. So PayPal has, I know most of you might already be using PayPal to get paid in Kenya, and you might have a question or two. And if you're yet to, and you are getting onboarded, we might as well just support you and give you some bit of guidance. But just to skip that and go to the partnership, we've partnered with PayPal to offer PayPal withdrawal service. It's offered on Equity Mobile, and it's instant. So the moment that you get paid, and for you to get paid, we'll get there. But the moment that you get paid, you're able to just convert your cash directly, and it gets into your Equity Bank account, and you're able to withdraw. So, or pay, not necessarily withdraw at an agent or an ATM, because we have gone digital. So you may ask exactly who uses PayPal and how do you get to access PayPal. So anyone in the creative space, if you, for instance, a TikToker, and you earn, including gifts from your followers, and you can choose PayPal as a checkout option. In any other areas, in any other gig that you're doing, and PayPal is available as one of the checkout option, whether you're in hospitality, a tour operator, etc., you can get paid through PayPal. Okay, and even for those in enterprise, I already spoke about hospitality and tour operators. We have those who are running institutions with students who are abroad and can get paid via PayPal and access their funds through Equity. So it's a wide range of verticals of users, and we can guide you further. And if not PayPal, we also have financial services that maybe I might not speak into them right now, that if you come to us, we'll be able to guide you accordingly and advise on how you can access funds. So I'll just stop at that and take this opportunity to thank the organizers, courtesy of Judy, Pulse, Connect Africa, and every other person who's really put effort into this, and will continue interacting with you. So take a minute to visit us at our booth there. Just ask any question and feel free to interact. So necessarily we're not even going to entice you to open an account, because I assume you already are, but in case you do, we'll support you. But let's have that discussion and see what value you can derive by accessing financial services through Equity Bank. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do we have a question before we let him off stage? None at all. So definitely, thank you so much. You'll still be here tomorrow so that people can have more discussions with you, figure out as creatives how we can get on board as well. Yes?
Yes.
So
Thank you.
we are coming to the tail end of today's sessions. And we're here with creative. So we've seen fashion models in the house. We've seen film creator also on board. Now we would want to move on to the next stages where we have some performances from creatives also within. So Branko, are you ready? Please come close by, then we will just move on into that. We have 2 performers in the house today, and just as a way to close off the evening, we'd want to hear that and also shake somebody while at it. Yes? I want to thank Fiona all the way from Uganda for making it, Fiona. So thank you for being a part of this process. We say it is creatives across East Africa, and that's just a good representation of it. We've been live on the pages at Pulse Live Kenya. So again, if you missed any part or you'd want to engage more with some of the content, please visit that part once again. Mr. Tiende, thank you. That was a very informative session as well. Again, a room filled with people with all kinds of expertise this far. Again, get all those contacts as much as possible because this conversation is not ending from this point. Please stand up. Do you want us to recap on that warm-up we did in the morning? I want to thank trainer Elvis from KU. I didn't know how to use this part of activity in these endeavors. But yeah, before I hand over to Branko, let's just stand up one last time. You remember what we did? Start left, go right, go to the waist. I want to add another one in the head, kata and kukubali, yeah? As Branko is also preparing, because I know he's ready to give you an electrifying performance. So before that, let's start on the right. I said I will want to be confirming my right and left all through, so let's start with the right. We do it 3 turns, then we go to the left, we do another 3 turns, then we go to the waist, right, then we go to the left, then I wanted to add a nod, then we refuse. We do it again from the top, right, yeah, then we go to the left. So I need to have some cheer in you because we are at the tail end. Cocktails are about to be given at some particular point. And then I want to thank you for being really amazing participants. We are closing almost day 1 in good time. And then we look forward to giving you the plan for tomorrow. Branko, back to you.
Well done. I gotta do this. Nishava. Yo. Check it, look what nimevaa. I gotta do this. Kama piga luku, angalia luku umevaa. Yo. Check it, look nimevaa. Rada ni safi, kila kitu nishavaa. Nachafua sini ukimblend na kuvaa. Hakuna polisi huku, si ndio gavaa. Cheki luku nimevaa. Rada ni safi, kila kitu nishavaa. Nachafua sini ukimblend na kuvaa. Hakuna polisi huku, si ndio gavaa. From the hood ni playlist ina catalog tu. Nimebeba shoka, nimesha catalog. I'm back again, kuchain up my dog. Ukicheka blogger, finally wina kublog. Nikisaka pepa suwa na chorea. Awale wananga shit na wanyorea. Niko na nguri ojia ta kungorea. Uso organize kama jeshi ya Korea. Cheki luku nimevaa. Rada ni safi, kila kitu nishavaa. Nachafua sini ukimblend na kuvaa. Hakuna polisi huku, si ndio gavaa. Cheki luku nimevaa. Rada ni safi, kila kitu nishavaa. Nachafua sini ukimblend na kuvaa. Hakuna polisi huku, si ndio gavaa. Good from the market. Whether ni forenza, kawam na leather jacket. Na ball ndani ya basket, wakibonga in bracket. Financial budget, ndo mayuto na target. Nikushow vitu nidla. Aya, buda cheki, niko na ngusu, kiseti una bleki. Mamoro hata kuanda kama una sleki. Hiki tusifani, ndo maana tucheki. Na kunywa waba kama na isikiu. Follow your lane, maheta sawezi kiu. Business you, veteran na chiu. Brand shango, ready na madafiu 254. Saini ras class imegada. Madoba zina drop one after another. From motherland na daini and the father. Mina risk life like there's no other. Cheki luku nimevaa. Rada ni safi, kila kitu nishavaa. Nachafua sini ukimblend na kuvaa. Hakuna polisi huku, si ndio gavaa. cheki luku nimevaa, rada ni safi, kila kitu ni shava, chafua sinu kimble na kuvaa, hakuna polisi huku sinjoka vaa. Yo, say, you know we do it man, in the ras class. Yo, kila sana moja kasho, cheki moja ingine manze, cargo money I gotta do this. Lodi yo cargo wanatega mali safi metoka Chicago hadi K. Bei ya mziki imepanda, so nikifreestyle utalipa 100k. Yo, lodi yo cargo wanatega mali safi metoka Chicago hadi K. Hey, ya mziki imepanda, so nikifreestyle utalipa 100k. Yo, lafya matag, anakuku complain, safisha mess before come ku-explain. Niko high na vuvangwa ndani ya plane, zimeshika si tume-maintain. Napiga deal kimasai nikiruka, ase bad man ingia bururu nikiburuka. Wameshona after manyaruku raruka, maji mizidiunga so mina wanyuka. Achana na manigro wako yapi, I'm a big dog, listen young puppy. Hizi sides hatupendi maukapi, brand new things when niambie uko na ngapi. Cheki streets imeni acknowledge, mana ras class na wapea knowledge. Na lecture university likiwa college, mindo supplier mwenye ananga shortage. Lodi yo cargo wanatega mali safi metoka Chicago hadi K. Bei ya mziki imepanda, so nikifreestyle utalipa 100k. Lodi yo cargo wanatega mali safi metoka Chicago hadi K. Bei ya mziki imepanda, so nikifreestyle utalipa 100k. Yo, se naoga na Dettol, mondo pesa ubina nikisettle nilirust. Sai wananiona na metal, my mental health inadhuru instrumental. Naweza fanya anything juu ya guap, juu ya guap. Ukijaribu cut and mouse utakuwa trapped, naingia uko ends kama niko strap. Air Force One nimepandisia Nike, nimeshinga todo sai niko hiki. My lifestyle ni kushika maiki, pick up my lol na kutambua nda maiki. Baba zangu ndo ana crave, vile na flow na wave. BF ni kama ujai misbehave, nimetokea na ngogis na mbogi tukirave. Yo, se shukran sana. Amazing work from there, from Branco. Yeah, so let's move the tempo a little bit. Pastor Ezekiel, a bit of flavor to balance both genders and even both content types of music. So Pastor Ezekiel, come on board. Pastor Morris, my apologies. I don't know who Pastor Ezekiel is, but somewhere he's passing the word as you're about to do it. Maybe it's the cargo Branco has dropped, so come on board, Pastor Morris.
Thank you. How are you guys? Mko fiti? Naomba tusimame mtusaidie kuimba. I'm Pastor Maurice. I'm a student at Afrika International University taking my bachelor's in theology in my 3rd year. September, getting into the 4th year. I'm a student pastor at current CITAM. I am a member of CITAM Karen Men's Chorale. We have a new song which is we released the other day. So if you look for CITAM Karen Men's Chorale, just ingia hapo now tusikize, just sambaza. And then I do sing like a single like artist. I do the music by myself by the name Maurice K. That's my YouTube channel. One time grief was almost killing me, and when I was in that situation, I received some words, and these words I'm going to preach to you tonight in form of music. It is a Swahili song that says, ni wakati wa urejesho. Time for you to be, whatever you lost, you are going to get it back. And you're going to get it back in a bigger way. I lost my wife during COVID. It was bad. I've never had that kind of an experience since I was born. But that music, those words, gave me comfort. This is my 6th year, but the Lord is good. I'm coming into Uganda. Ginger. Kuna mtu hapo anakuja Kenya. So we thank God for that. So DJ, studio kama outamind, just help me to sing. Ni wakati wa urejesho. Nikikwambia dance tu. Sawa sawa. Na unipe sauti. Thank you. Haya, nipe saundi basi. Jawabu Studios. Sijisikii. Haya, piga makofi tu, piga makofi vizuri. Ni wakati wa urejesho. Ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unayasahau mapito yote. Piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Ni wakati wa urejesho. Ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unayasahau mapito yote. Piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Haya, tuimbe pamoja. Ni wakati wa urejesho. Tuimbe. Ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unayasahau mapito yote. Piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Ni wakati wa urejesho. Ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unayasahau mapito yote. Piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Ni mwenyewe ni mshuhuda. Kukataliwa, kunyanyaswa na watu wangu niliowadhamini. Waliona mimi sifai, wakaona mimi nina shida. DJ, inakuaje? Haya, piga sasa makofi vizuri sasa. Na uimbe, nikikwambia uimbe unaimba. Haya. Alright. Makofi. Ni wakati wa urejesho. Ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unayasahau mapito yote. Piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Ni wakati wa urejesho. Ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unayasahau mapito yote. Piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Haya, tuimbe sasa. Ni wakati wa urejesho. Sisikii sauti. Ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unayasahau mapito yote. Piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Tunaimba. Ni wakati wa urejesho. Ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unayasahau mapito yote. Piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Ni mwenyewe ni mshuhuda wa mambo ninayoyasema. Kukataliwa, kunyanyaswa na watu wangu niliowadhamini. Waliona mimi sifai, wakaona mimi nina shida. Wakanisimanga, kunichekelea, lakini Yesu akaja kwa ajili yangu. Hivyo mimi nasema wakati wa urejesho. Tuimbe. Ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unayasahau mapito yote. Fanya kama mimi. Hivi. Hivi tu. Hivi tu. Ni wakati hivi. Fanya. Ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unayasahau mapito yote. Piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Haya, piga makofi ya sema. Safari yetu ya mbinguni ina changamoto chungu nzima. Kuna kusimangwa,
kukataliwa, magonjwa hata yanafuata, unafukuzwa kule kazini, eti kwamba haufai. Nuks na mikosi yote imeshindwa kwa jina la Yesu. Ndio maana nasema wakati wa urejesho, ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Umesahau mapito yote, piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Ni wakati wa urejesho, ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Umesahau mapito yote, piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Aya, fanya kama mimi. Kidogo tu. Kidogo tu. Mtizame Baba Ayubu, aliyapitia mambo mengi, akasimangwa, akazungumziwa mambo yasiyofaa. Ufunuo aliupata huyu Baba Ayubu, ya kwamba kuna matumaini tena kwa mti uliokauka. Mpendwa, jitie nguvu ndani ya Bwana, anasema muite, atasikia, atakuonyesha mambo makuu na makubwa usoyaweza. Hivyo mimi naimba wakati wa urejesho, ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unasahau mapito yote, piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Ni wakati wa urejesho, ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unasahau mapito yote, piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Haya, tunamalizia one more time. Kwake Yesu anakuita vile ulivyo, na mizigo yako leta kwake Yesu. Pumziko lako liko kwa yeye. Achoki na mawazo yote, achoki na kilio chako, mizigo yako anakwambia ilete kwake leo upumzike. Hivyo ninasema wakati wa urejesho. Haya, tunamalizia wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unasahau mapito yote, piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Ni wakati wa urejesho, ni wakati wa kumwona Mungu. Unasahau mapito yote, piga hatua, fuata hatima yako. Haya, studio. Thank you so much. Thank you, studio. Thank you. So you need, if you want to watch and listen to my music, you look for Maurice K. K-E-I. And subscribe, share my music, and the Lord bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Morris. I think we've had the best from both worlds, and all of it have made us be able to move up and down. Yes. Just to close it off, the people who've hosted us here today, Promised Land, are we having a representative around just to tell us a thing or two on what you guys do here, how people can get on board with you for future events, collaborations? I know there's a studio also here somewhere, how they can go on board with it. Do we have anyone from Promised Land? Going once, do you have someone from Promised Land with us? Who can come just give us a brief on what happens here as we call it first day? No? Ruby, do you want to join me on board just as we do the closing remarks for today's master class day 1? And as we also try to have a look at what is going to be coming up for day 2, look at some of the recaps of what has stood out. just a little bit, what stood out for you? Because I already have someone in mind.
Definitely Mr. No attendance facilitation. That session I think was very powerful because I feel as creatives, there's really not too much that we could do without government support. So yeah, I enjoyed that session. What about you?
Esther said, build to earn, build to last. That has stuck with me. Our whole presentation as a creative, trying to monitor the numbers and how we can gain the community or even the interaction. That was a really amazing session for me. So I'll definitely be going back on that live link just to hear more and in detail exactly how I can improve on my content.
Dope. I hope you guys also have a key takeaway that you're taking home with you before we do the second day tomorrow. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for sticking it through from morning till this time. We will be back here again tomorrow. Kindly keep time, if possible. Be here by 9 o'clock so that we can start promptly at 10 and finish early. Please, let's not pretend. I know, we're creatives. We do like to have a good time. So yeah, please make sure, once again, if you haven't followed our socials, at CCA_ East Africa is where we're at. Pictures, videos, everything. You can invite us as collaborators. You can also follow us. You can share it with your creator friends as well. The link to this session, to today's session, is also live on Pulse Live Kenya YouTube and Facebook pages, so you can go download, revisit, or share with your networks. Na kama itawezekana kesho, tafadhali bring one person, bring two people, because I feel that these sessions are only powerful if we have more people in the room, right? Sawa. So we want to open it up. Thank you so much for showing up. I'll do this on behalf of Promised Land. I guess watatuongelesha kesho. So we're opening up this session for enjoyment. Shout out to Judy Sheila. Thank you for that. So there's some bitings and some cocktails. Sioni ice na sioni nini. Fruits, tutajua pali wamezificha. But na lemon, you know, ndimu iko wapi? Sugar, where's the salt? Come on. Lakini tutajua iko within the space. So mspanic, tumewapanga, it's a cash bar. So feel free to also give back to the institutions that have also lended their hand to us. Tunarudishiana mkono, tunasapotiana until the powers that be come and get involved in the creative economy the way we need them to. Sawa sawa. Asanteni sana kwa kuja. I have been your host for the day. My name is Ruby V. I am a project manager at Homeboys. We do a lot of amazing stuff. Wacha nijipatie plug. Karibu nisiseme. We do a lot of amazing stuff. There's also, we've opened up a headquarters on Mushai Drive, Apocoptic. So we have a bunch of recording studios, I think about 12. We have recording studios, we have mixing and mastering suites. We have editing suites as well. We have podcast studios. We have an in-house TV studio. We also have rehearsal spaces. And we do have the Homeboys Institute of Technology that is also empowering people in the creative economy. Everything from social media marketing to photography is taught, to live sound engineering, lighting engineering during concerts. We've only just opened this year, but in the short period of time that we have opened up, I don't know if you guys heard about Nyashinsky's Showman. That is the space he was rehearsing at for an entire month. He's actually the one who opened our doors. Nameless at 25 is happening this weekend. He was also rehearsing at our new headquarters, had the entire crew from Nyashinsky, Punit, to Major, Matrax, Necessary Noise, and some surprise acts. I can tell you for sure the Nameless at 25 show is going to be fire. So if you're a millennial, do whatever you can to attend that show. Red Sun at 30 is also coming up, and we're also his partners and sponsors. So I want to send an open invite to all of you. If ever you're on Mushai Drive next week, because Kesho we're gonna be here. If you're ever on Mushai Drive next week, any day from Tuesday to the weekend, please feel free to come to the security desk, ask for Ruby, ask for a tour of the spaces, and I think you will enjoy. There's a lot that we're doing, and I would like to shout out my CEO in absentia, Mike Rabah. He's really doing a lot, and that is a man who's grown from sound engineering and DJing to actually building, I think, the first hub like that in East Africa, if not Africa. So karibuni sana. You can check us out tuko on social media, HitLabs, HITLABZZ. Mnaweza tufollow, kuna mambo mengi sana tunafanya hapo. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, and I've been the co-host Boniface Otieno. I'm a TV producer at Kenyatta University Television and Radio, and equally a content producer with Off Pitch Africa. Please check us out. For the creatives who are here, please also reach out. We give you an opportunity for the first timers on TV to just express your ideas or content. That's the platform for you to start off before you shoot out to the main media. Thank you to everyone in attendance, Promised Land, Judy, and tomorrow the session is open, so please just register. Make sure you are able to attend and gain these masterclass lessons at a subsidized rate. If you've not registered and you're here, please register before you leave. Else we want to say a big thank you, and everyone who's contributed. See you tomorrow. DJ.
Déjà qu'on n'aimait pas brûler ça. Excusez-moi, veut tout danser comme pas. Moi, pas comme femme haïtienne, tous comme ça. Ou mettre madame, moi, c'est yon egg nature. Danser.